Hey guys, today I thought I would do a 1 year in review of my ZDRACING 9106 truck. Also goes by the ZMT10. It's quite a different names that it goes by, but ZD9106 is the most common what I call it. I was lucky enough to be one of the very first to get this truck a little over a year ago, and I was just really happy to get it. And you know, it's gotten a lot of views. It seems to be really popular. If you look on YouTube, there's just a ton of reviews on this truck because it's really fast, it's nicely built, and it's inexpensive. It's like 133 bucks. You know, I put a coupon. You know, the coupon's good to the end of the year, so if you're interested, check the description. There's a link to purchase link to it there. But anyway, just a really popular truck. And after owning it a year, I thought, you know what, maybe we should go over a few things, discuss what I've learned about mine. Now, mine's one of the early production models of this. So, you know, I think I've got a 60 amp ESC. A lot of them that are coming now, I think, have 45 amp ESCs. But you can run two R3S LiPos on it. In my original video, the thumbnail that I created said 40 miles per hour. That's what everybody was saying, but that is actually on 3S. So it's not wrong, it's just if you want to run it on 3S. I only run mine on 2S because on 3S you're really straining this vehicle in its pure stock form. But you know, the ESC, the 60 amp one is certainly more likely to do fine on 3S. But I've just got the 2S LiPo stuck in. That's all I've stuck with. But if you're going to go up to 3S, you're going to probably want to go and change the slipper clutch in this to that full metal spur gear. It's not actually a slipper clutch, but that slipper clutch tends to, you know, it's not actually in the back. It is like the only gear that's not metal, and it tends to strip for some people. I've had no issues. But I would suggest, you know, swapping it out. It's only like an $8 part if you want to go with 3S. And just make sure the gears and everything are meshed properly, like an RC car should be. Not too much of a gap, but of course not meshed too much either, because sometimes that can cause problems. So I've had no problems. The only thing that's happened to me was one of these front shocks. Hope I'm holding this enough in the camera, so I wasn't planning on doing too much of looking at it, just more driving. But one of the shocks came undone, and that leaked out oil, and it was just a matter of screwing it back together and adding oil and popping it back on. These are just plastic shocks, however. They look metal, but they're plastic. So that was the only problem that I've had. I had a steering tie rod pop off the ball joint, but that was just a matter of just taking some of those pliers and popping it back on. So I've had nothing break, just had the shock come undone. If you look at the body, you know, it's kind of beat up, and they all do. You know, Lexan bodies are going to do that. You can see here, you know, where it's really put stress against the body clip mount towers. I've got electrical tape here because this is cracked. But mine's pretty decent shape. I've seen them much worse. Some people really bash them and split them in half and have to make a new body or buy a new body. You can buy bodies for these pretty easy. You can see on the underside here, this is where it should be more visible, where I got the tape over these huge cracks. But overall, like I said, this is really a really good truck, and that's why it's so popular, because it's so fast. It's, you know, it's well built. And you know, it's inexpensive. It's not a really expensive truck for what you get. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the video and plug the battery in, and we'll take it out and kind of show you how it's still running after a year. Alright guys, so I have the ZDRACING 9106 powered up and ready to take it out now for another 1 year in review test drive of this big monster truck. One thing I forgot to mention a while ago was a lot of people do like to put some thread lock on these nuts, on the wheel nuts. I've just been checking mine from time to time. I've not added any, but if you do, just use some blue thread lock. Don't use a red, you'll never get it off. But because some people have had the wheels fly off on them because the nut just came loose. It wasn't a big deal. You just might not be able to find the nut and have to go to the hardware store to find you a new one. But I would suggest putting some thread lock on the nuts on it. So let's go ahead and we'll take it out. It is super windy today, so I'm going to be on the edge of my garage most likely because it is just crazy amount of wind. So let's go ahead and just show you what it does still. See, and that's 2S, and it's just really It really hauls. Look at that. I mean, it'll literally flip over. It needs to have the ESC programmed so that the braking is not so aggressive, and probably the throttle punch is not so much. But there's not any program button on this ESC like a lot of the other ones have. Some of my other trucks and cars have a button, and you can then program it with the button. So you have to you have a program card to do this one, which I do not have. I need to get one. So at the moment I'm stuck with that really aggressive braking. I don't know if they've adjusted that. I've heard some people say that I think they have, but I can't say for sure. I would think that they would have. This is such an early model, because it does brake too hard. I don't mind the acceleration because it will ride a wheelie. It practically needs a wheelie bar. But if you slam the brakes on going full speed, it will roll or somersault on you. So I just tap it a few times and then turn it. In my opinion, that's really fast for a 2S truck this size, 4-wheel drive. Look at the power it has. So you can see why this truck is so popular for $130, $140 in that price range. You can pick it up on Amazon too. I think some other companies have rebranded it, but it's going to cost you $160, $70. So you're going to pay 30, 40 more bucks, but you'll get it quicker. But I think $133 is that's about the cheapest I've seen it, and it's been that way for quite a while. And that is with free shipping. So just gotta wait a couple weeks for it to come from China. That's all. I always say this in my reviews: if you ever get some snow, well, maybe next week. Looks like there could be a chance. I'd like to get some of these trucks out, see how they do. I've got a similar sized, but a little bit bigger FS Racing truck that I actually never reviewed that one. As far as I know, it's been discontinued. So I'm not really sure, what good it would do to review it if you can't find it anywhere, to buy it. But I may get it out whenever it snows with one of the other ones. I'm gonna definitely get the Maximus, big 1/8 scale Maximus truck coming out. That thing, I haven't had it out yet. I can't wait. It goes over 50 miles an hour, and it is just massive. It dwarfs this truck. I thought this truck was huge, but that thing costs over twice as much as this truck does too. So if you're on a budget and you want to go brushless and you want 1/10 scale, it's got all the stuff you want with tons of power. This truck, you can't beat this truck. There's really nothing out there that can compete with this truck at this price point. There's just nothing out there. You might, like I said, you might find something around $200, but not for $130-ish. And so I don't want to sound like a salesman here. It's not the purpose of my channel, but I like this one so much that I just can't stop harping on it. I loved it the first time I drove it, the first review, and I still love it a year later. You see one wheel is kind of a little bit wobbly, I think. I'll have to take a look at it. It's been that way for a while. Nothing's broken. I just think something is slightly bent from smashing, and it could be the hub, but it's fine. It's not affecting. It's a little bit. This front right wheel, you can see a slight wobble in it, but the wheel feels secure. It could just, and it also could be. Let me check the tire. So sometimes just a tire coming off the hub, but it doesn't appear to be that. Like I said, the tire does not appear to be loose. I noticed the last time I drove it, it was doing that too. See, it's easy to really ride a wheelie. I mean, it is. This truck can take a beating. Like I said, some people have problems with that slipper clutch slipping. There's also some people have trouble, I didn't mention earlier, with the differential not working right in one of the gearboxes after just driving it really hard. Sometimes you just need to take it apart and reassemble the differential, and maybe put a different size, shim in there, like to tighten up the the washer size in there to tighten up because it's just a gear differential. It'd be nice if it had a ball differential, but they don't always use those in these unless it's more expensive. But they are metal gears in the differential. So some people have had to do that. My friend Heath's done that with his. He's kind of modded the differential very easily and replaced that slipper clutch. Unless you're going to drive it like a maniac, you don't necessarily need a slipper clutch. Because that metal one isn't a slipper clutch. It's just designed to fit in there where the slipper clutch goes. Whoa! That was cool. Like I said, that front wheel, there's a little bit of a wobble of play in that, when it moves, but I don't see any play, I should say, when I try to move it here, there's none. So it's just something slightly bent, but nothing that I'm concerned about. Really cool truck, considering you get fully ready to run. Comes with the 2S 2400 milliamp battery, and at the hard case that you can unplug the balance and the Dean's wires from it. Some of them have that ability. This one does. So if the positive terminal's running through the middle of the body, just unplug the wire. Some people can get confused with that and think they can't get the battery out. So just make sure that you just pull the plugs and then pull the battery out. You can also go much bigger. I bought a 5200 milliamp battery, the same size I can run on this, and get over a half an hour. This stock battery will get you 20 minutes easy. You can go up pretty big on the battery size. So just have to kind of be easy on the brake there. I slammed it on but didn't hold the brake long, or like I said, it'll somersault on you. So if you want a full overview, just if you're a subscriber to my channel or you're a new subscriber and you've not seen it and you're interested in seeing the full overview, just go back. Maybe I'll remember to put it in the video description. If I don't, just go back about a year and I've got a full review, the table review, where I show you everything about this truck and what it can do. It was my first brushless vehicle, so even then I was a little bit unsure about a few things. I was used to the brushed world, but I think overall it was a pretty good review. And then I do another test drive of this where I did drive it in the one time we had snow last year. So if you want to see how this does in snow, I do have a snow drive video of this also. As you see, there's no problems with it at all. I mean, this thing has really held up well. I've had no luck. I've had no bad luck, I should say. But a few people, I said, I've had just some minor issues that I discussed in this video. So they're all very fixable issues. And spare parts for this are not readily available. When I first got this a year ago, a lot of people were asking, well, where's spare parts? Because obviously all trucks and RC cars are going to break. And there weren't any at the time. So I certainly understood why some people were hesitant to buy it because of the lack of spare parts. But now you can get spare parts for this. I missed an on and off switch for this really easily. I know RC Moma, who sent me this a year ago, has got like 2 pages of ZD Racing spare parts, so you can buy the slipper clutch and the body, the motor, the wheel. I mean, they got the shocks, they got just about every part. And I think GearBest has parts for it too. So I've not looked there, but I think somebody said they got some parts there. So you know, if that's a concern of yours, which is a very valid one, parts are readily available now. I haven't checked eBay. I wouldn't be surprised there's not parts on there too. But if you're in the United States, you can get the parts from RC Moment. You're just going to have to wait, you know, a few weeks for the part to get shipped to you. So that should give you an idea what to expect from this truck after 1 year. As long as you take care of it, you maintain it, and you don't drive it like a complete maniac, and stick to 2S. If you don't want to do those gear upgrades, then you'll be just fine. So stay tuned for some more videos. I'm going to have that Maximus truck coming up soon. And I've also got a JXD tracker GPS drone, but I can't obviously fly it on a day like today where it's really windy. So got plenty more stuff coming. Hope you guys have a good day, and see you soon.
The power of the dark side.